Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Yusuf, and I'm here with my co-host Adam.
Hey guys, so as always, like, subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts because this is a dour video, right? Unfortunately, on Sunday we saw Lionel Messi give his final farewell and a press conference right in front of the fans. We're going to read some quotes. Messi said, "It's time to say goodbye to Barcelona. It's been so many years. I arrived at the age of 13 as a kid. After 21 years, I'm leaving with my wife and 3 Argentinian and Catalan kids." He said, "I was not ready for this," right? He said, "These last few days, I've been thinking about what I could say. The truth is, nothing came to me. I was not prepared." He discussed, I would have liked to say goodbye on the field, hearing a last ovation from the crowd, celebrating a goal with them in a full stadium. And, I think the part that hurts us the most as Barca fans is when he said, "Last year I wanted to leave, but I wasn't allowed. This year I wanted to stay. Laporta, me, we did everything we could, but the problem was La Liga." And, he talked about how he was so proud and grateful to the fans and all of us. And, I'm one of the biggest Lionel Messi fans you'll find, right? My phone is constantly Lionel Messi. I'm always thinking about Messi, talking about Messi. Yus isn't that big of a fan, but, Yus loves Messi too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just kind of wanted to go over a few things here, right? And the first thing we want to talk about is...
Well, just that comment where he said, was it La Liga? Or he said it was La Liga's fault.
Yeah.
Do we really believe that, though? Like, this is what we're going to be discussing.
I think so.
Right? Okay.
I think what I've come to as my acceptance of what happened here is that basically Laporta sat with Tebas, and Tebas has kind of alluded to the fact that these talks happened. But he basically said, hey, you can accept the CVC loan and sign Lionel Messi and therefore, get more entangled with the league and have a harder time to leave for the Super League, or you can reject the deal, you can't sign Messi, and the Super League has a chance of surviving. And at the end of the day, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially as fans and especially as so many of us Barca fans have had our entire Barca fandom be with Lionel Messi as a player, right?
Sure.
I don't know how many players or people who watch this video have been watching Barca for more than 17 years, but he has been the main guardian for what Barca is. And so for why Lionel Messi left, I think it has to be the fact that Laporta and the board decided, hey, it matters more for us and the future of the club. I'm not going to say, there's a lot of negative comments about the Super League, but really, it does provide a financial benefit that I think the team sees as essential and as a foregone conclusion. And so the team basically said, Laporta said, hey, that option matters more to us for the future because I'm not in charge of making sure Messi's happy for 2 years. I'm in charge of safeguarding the club and its future success. And as much as as much as Messi said so, right? He said, hey, I wasn't expecting this. I was surprised by this. We tried everything. It means that this wasn't some sort of foregone plan that, Laporta had always intended to lie to us. He did promise and he didn't deliver. But I think once the audit came out and they found out the numbers were so bad, this was a step that Laporta and the board had to take for Barca's future.
Well, I think this goes back to discussions we had about Laporta coming in and promising so much and not being able to really show up with all that stuff, right? And I think he made it clear with the Super League that he wasn't really prepared to give it up, right? Him and Florentino Perez seemed pretty on board with that. They were one of the 2 teams and Juventus to not leave as the bigger English clubs and some other clubs. But
well, I think so you're right.
Yeah.
What's disturbing to me about Laporta, though, is that there was supposed to be this vote by the Socios, right?
Sure.
And allegedly, this vote is still to take place. And so he has made the determination to get rid of Messi without even going to the Socios to see if we want the Super League.
A surefire decision to say that this is the route we're going
Yeah,
down,
so
right?
what happens now if he goes to the Socios? And I have a feeling, and Yus and I are not necessarily the hottest on Laporta right now. I have a feeling this vote's never going to happen. But let's say it does and the team votes against it. Then it just basically means that we turned down the CVC money and got rid of Messi in like the most heartbreaking fashion for a league that the clubs
denying now.
Yeah. Exactly. And so that's frustrating.
I mean, how much do we have to give up? We could have had the money that we needed to sign Lionel Messi. But at the end of the day,
it goes under Bartomeu. That's the thing. As much as we want to be frustrated with Laporta, like the seeds that sowed this misfortune were planted a long time ago with Bartomeu's just absurd mismanagement. We, would talk about some things like Sergio Roberto making more than Virgil van Dijk, other contract issues that just made it absurd, and our wage bill was too high. And then the pandemic also came and kind of screwed over our revenues.
That was a huge.
It was a lot of mismanagement. So the full blame can't be put on Laporta. What does bother me, though, is that it does feel like the exit of Messi was so botched. Like, you think of this Joan Gamper game, couldn't we have had Messi on the field once just to have fans applaud him off? The whole way that this farewell conference happened today, I don't want to really, rag on Serginho Dest, but he came in like a tracksuit, like shorts and tank top that matched. It was really weird because like Messi was in a pure suit. So overall, it was handled really bad. But let's get back to it, because one thing that's important to note, and I saw some comments about Talk FCB and other Barcelona pages, is that, we're the Barca breakdown. As much as Messi is the reason we're here, just because he's gone doesn't mean we're going to give up on covering Barcelona and the team, right? Like, when people ask me, because a lot of people have called me in the last few days and texted me like, hey, how do you feel? What's going on? And, my friend Peter today called me and he's like, hey, so are you going to become a PSG fan now, or what's the deal? And the way I describe it is like, I'm going to watch every Barcelona game I can for the rest of my life, and I'm also going to watch every Messi game I can for the rest of my life. It's not mutually exclusive that you have to choose one or the other, right, Yus?
Unfortunately, it's not official yet, but all signs point to him going to PSG, right?
With Ramos.
And so that's going to be kind of a weird thing to deal with. But at the end of the day, right, Messi's going to be at least in a place with like-minded players that he's played with before.
Of a high caliber.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Neymar, Mbappe. He's going to be in a good fit, and we hope to see him win some things, right? We don't hope that Barcelona just gets trashed on. We want our team to still win and do very well, and we're going to be cheering them on regardless of the situation.
But the odds are that we're not going to win the Champions League this season or next season with or without Lionel Messi. I mean, with Messi, of course, you always have that chance, but the last few years have shown us that we just didn't have the team planning. It's so absurd. Bartomeu had a team with way too high of wages, but not the skill level and the sporting idea behind the formation of the team to make it that successful in Champions League. And so, odds are Barca are not going to win the Champions League this year or next year with or without Messi. And so at least he's going to a place that has a high opportunity to win the Champions League, because we all want to see Messi win one, if not two more Champions Leagues, because that would be just so good to see in his trophy cabinet. So there's some, pluses and minuses. I think the next thing I want to talk about, Yus, is like, how does this change how we interact with Barca games as fans? Because there was always this narrative, and each loss was so painful because it felt like each loss damaged Messi's legacy, which is the thing that matters to a lot of Barca fans and Messi fans. And so now that weight is obviously off the team's shoulders, because there's not going to be an expectation this season if we come against Liverpool, if we come against PSG, if we come against, some of these bigger Chelsea, right? Some of these clubs that did really well last year in Europe. Without Messi, there's not going to be that same pressure to win every game and to think that we're, the favorites. As Barca fans, obviously we have the biggest team in the world, so we always have a high bar for success, but it's not going to be like we're the favorites going into every tie.
Sure, the perception of us coming into each game is going to be different without Lionel Messi. That's a given, right? He is a threat on the field.
Constantly.
There's no getting around that, right? And like you're saying, at the end of the day, we can kind of go and enjoy soccer, maybe a little bit more in terms of, as we've talked about pressure on the players, maybe we have a little bit less pressure and not such high expectations to win a treble every year, which I don't think we've gotten close to after getting knocked out of Champions League so much.
And that gives a chance for these young players. Like, we look at Fati, Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Puig, Dembele. There's Araujo, Mingueza, Eric Garcia. There's so many, Yusuf Demir, Nico Gonzalez. There's so many young players, Collado. There's so many young players, Elish, if he comes back. We'll talk about that later. There's so many young players who have a chance to really grow and experience a wonderful career. And without Messi there, I feel like there's a higher chance that the team retains young talent rather than trades them off for an Arturo Vidal or a Paulinho type trade to get instant success. And so hopefully we'll be able to see this team really grow. And, from watching other sports, it's really nice when you experience a team kind of have they kind of retrace and diminish a little bit, and then you see them grow again. And so at 100%. Least now we're in a new era, right? There's a new plant we're potting for Barcelona that we get to see grow. And there is something nice about seeing these players grow, and maybe not next season, but the season after, they're challenging for the Champions League. That would be such a wonderful thing to experience.
And it gives us another outlook to look at, right? You're really watching something flourish. And that's what I'm going to... It's a fresh breath... Flourish. It's something with a breath of fresh air. And it's going to be refreshing. And I think we all need that, because the last few seasons have been rough. And we don't want to see Messi finish his career without any more medal, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nuanced, man. It's we're the biggest team in the world, and so we always expect greatness. But there's a different level of expectation when you have Messi. I mean, he's about to be the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner, Copa America champion, greatest player of all time, my favorite player. I love you, Messi. And so, without that on the field, even though we'll still have pressure, it's not the same. It's hard to put into words what I'm trying to describe, but I think everyone here kind of gets it. And so, hopefully we see Depay, who's not that old, right? He's only, 26? 27, and so we get to see him grow. We get to see, maybe Dembele doesn't have as much pressure and fans deriding him on every bad move he makes. Like, maybe we can all take a breath of air and just love the team.
100%. With that, guys, we thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment on your thoughts about everything. Love to hear it from you guys. We're
Thank you.
out.